Good morning, everyone. This is R. Gaurav. I'm currently studying in Care University, pursuing my third year in CSE, Data Science. I'm here to explain you about real-time chat application with AWS WebSocket API. So, firstly, we need a free tier account of AWS, then a software known as Postman to host our sockets. So, as we start our project, first we need to open the AWS free account, free tier account. Then we need to search DynamoDB. As we open the DynamoDB, we click the create table option. Then we enter the table name as WebSocket dash connections. So the partition key will be connection ID. Then we create the table. As we created the table, we now go to services and we go for Lambda. We create a function. The function name would be WebSocket dash connect. For this, we are choosing Python 3.9 for our runtime. Then we create the function. So as we are seeing on the screen, we are having the Visual Studio code. I have just copied the codes here. So you may type it here. Type it from here. So as we are seeing the code, we copy the code and then we just go to our code source and we copy it there. Copy the WebSocket table, then go to configuration and go to environmental variables, add environmental variable, name as the copied one and value as WebSocket dash connection ID connections. Save this. Then we go to permissions, click on role name. It will say open it into a new window. Then we go and click on the URL. As we go there, we see we have an edit policy role there. Then we go to the service and search DynamoDB. Then we go and search in the actions as put. So we have got it here. The next will be we will be adding our ARN. The region will be quite right. It will be in the right opposite. Sorry, at the right corner. Then we could go to the table name and then we add it. So after doing this, we go to the AWS console and then go to functions. We create another function known as WebSocket dash connections. Sorry, disconnect. The same will be the Python 3.9 for the runtime. Then we save it. Now I have the code for the disconnect in the Visual Studio code. Now I will be copying it and then pasting it in our code source in the AWS console. Then I deployed it and I went to the configuration. Then there's a no role name again there. So we go to the environment variables and add the environment variable. The same will be applied as the previous one. Then we save it by adding the value. Then we go to permissions and click on the role name. We change the policy here by connecting the previous web policies. We type DynamoDB again as this whole thing is proclaimed under DynamoDB. We click delete and we go on and click in the on the delete item. We add the add ARN, same as before. Then we add it. After having this changes saved, we go to the AWS and then click on functions, and there's a third function known as send. So we'll be having WebSocket dash send. Then the same Python 3.9 for our runtime. Then we save or create the function. After creating the function, we'll have the same process repeated as we'll be having a new code for it. So I have copied my code from here. So there's a scan in it, and I have given another name for my boto3.client. There is a request domain name and request context stage as well. So these are all the variables which are very important for our project. For now, we have items and all, and the connection ID as well. So once we copy this and then paste it in the code source, then we will be having a three functions named. So now we have copied it, we have deployed it, and now we will be going for our configuration. As we go for our environment variables, then we add the environmental variable, same as the previous ones, WebSocket underscore table, all in caps, then value WebSocket dash connections, then we save it. Now we go for the permissions. Then as we know, we have to change our policies. Then there's a URL. You go to the URL and then change the edit policy. You add the add edit permissions and then choose a service. So as we are in a DynamoDB surface, now we only choose DynamoDB. Then we choose scan, click on scan, add the resources. We should be choosing for table as index is not mentioned here. So our area, our account number, and the table name as WebSocket connections, dash connections, sorry. Then we add it. Then now we go for our service. So our service will be the API gateway. The whole thing will be as our execute API as we are executing our APIs through sockets. Then we take the manage connections. We go for resources down the execute API. Then we click specific as we are specific about only three. So then we are giving them only the specific permissions for the three sockets as well. So we click on review policy. As you can see, we have three: CloudWatch logs, DynamoDB, and execute API. We save the changes. Then we go for the edit policy. As we have done the edit policy, now we'll be changing the tab through the Amazon console. Then we will be going for our API gateway. This is very important as we will be connecting the API gateways through our DynamoDB tables. So as we can see, there's WebSocket API. We build it. We click on build. We give the name as WebSocket dash API. Root will be our request dot body dot action. We'll be clicking on next, and then we'll add root, add default root, add disconnect root. Then we'll have a custom root as well. The root key will be send message. Then we'll be clicking on next. Then the integration type will be, we'll be having Lambda. We have chosen Lambda for our integration. So you'll be having the US East one or anything else. So while choosing this, you have to maintain the values in it. So the integration of message, then again Lambda as we are in the Lambda interface as well. So we'll be having send as we have written send message. So obviously it will be having send. Then I have named by stage as demo. So I have given the respective ones. The API details have been given, the routes have been given, the integrations have been given, the stages also have been given. So we create and deploy the policy. Click on create and deploy the policy. So it is being creating. It is created successfully. Now we have to go for our Amazon gateway. Then we have stages in it. Then we click on demo. We can see that there's an interface and a WebSocket URL and connection URL. We'll be clicking on WebSocket URL, or either we can say we copy it. Then I go to my Postman. As I said in the video, starting of the video earlier, we need Postman to connect the URLs. I have connected the URL now. As you can see, there's down below connected. Now I've clicked on the plus because I have to add my URL and another URL as well. So I've connected it. Click on new. We have WebSocket now. We have connected through the WebSocket as well. So we have 3 connections now. So yeah, we go to the Amazon we go to the Amazon window now, and we go and click on explore items. Click on WebSocket connections, and we can see there are 3 connections as we have connected it. Now we can reduce it, or we can specify any one of them. So I'm about to write some variables which are connected to the code. So it's a new message called as action, send message. Everything should be in double quotes as it should be prevented by taking a comment. So I have given these. Every variable is important as it only understands the binary language of the new message. So yeah, I have given action, send message, message hello from the terminal. So I have click on send. So it is successfully been sent. Now as we can see on the console that it has printed the hello from terminal. Through the other connections also we have seen the same. So we can see that our project has been successful as I have successfully copied my text from here. So every API socket has been connected. So yeah, you can see every socket has been connected. So I'm going to disconnect one of my sockets as to see that if everything is being charged well. Now I'm seeing it. As you can see, we are having only 2 connections because I have disconnected one of them. So this was our project. As I have connected AWS WebSocket API from a real-time chat application using Python. So everything will be specific. Everything is done in Postman, DynamoDB table, Lambda using AWS free tier account. It will be not working in our AWS Academy as it is very the AWS organization has given only limited connections to it and limited functions to it. So yeah, thank you.